Welcome to the Grappling Grappling Rewind podcast.
Welcome to this week on the Grappling Rewind podcast, and do we have a show for you today? I'm your host, Maine, here with my co-host,
Frosty.
Yeah, Josh is sitting here. That's Josh, by the way, in case you don't know. He's sitting here with a large Wendy's Frosty that he's going to proceed to eat probably the entire show.
The best Frosty.
Yeah.
We had a previous discussion. Who gets vanilla Frosties? No one. Get in contact with me if you do.
So
also, side note, fuck you, Maine. French fries. Do you eat them with your Frosties?
I think everyone does. I think they advertise that.
Do they?
Hold on 1 second. This week on the show, we are going to recap Fight to Win 83 in Danbury, Connecticut. We are also going to talk about the Finishers Sub-Only 6 presented by Show the Art. We are also going to preview Kasai Pro 3. All right, Josh, back to your Frosty talk.
Are we going to talk about Fight to Win 84?
Nope, it's in a couple weeks from now.
No, it's not. It's next week.
All right, thanks, Flow Grappling. So they have 2 dates listed for the event. One is September 8th, which is actually the date of Fight to Win 85. The Fight to Win 84 in Chicago, Illinois is going to be on August 17th. So we're going to preview that card on the show as well.
So instead of reading the tiniest date possible, read the giant fucking date next to it.
Josh, you're not wrong. We've established that on the show usually. So that's this week. But before all we get into that, a little bit of news. So kicking off news, Gordon Ryan is now a free agent again. He had a very short stint with ACBJJ, had one match versus Vinny, and now he's back into open free agency and looking for super fights. What do you think, Josh?
When is he going to train in the gi?
You mean compete in the gi? We've seen photos of him training in the gi. We just haven't
seen
seen
a whole lot of no-gi stuff is all I'm saying.
Yeah, we've seen him kind of move back into no-gi. Maybe he kind of got and was like, oh, no, gi's hard as shit. Guys can just hold on to me.
I just want to see him compete in the gi.
Yeah,
that's what I'm about.
So what do you think? They've speculated on his time. Don Hurst talked about like how long he's going to spend training the gi before he goes into gi competition. They were forecasting 6 or 8 months, and we're kind of creeping up on that time window.
We've already hit that time window.
Yeah, basically post ADCC. So yeah, that would have been a while ago.
Year.
Last September or
November? It doesn't really
something
matter.
like that. So it'll be interesting to see if he continues to move into the gi or if he basically goes and continues to compete in no gi.
I like that they just started moving around stuff, and he was like, "Yo, I need to compete as much as possible," and they were like, "We're gonna do what we want to do," and he was like, "All right, let's break this then," and they were like, "Yeah, okay." That's what I'm interested in.
Yeah, it was
how they feel about that.
The breaking the ACBJJ contract after one bout,
or cutting it, and how he felt about them going, nah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's if he broke the contract, if he asked for the release, or ACBJJ asked for release, or how exactly that worked. You don't see guys typically get a big contract with ACBJJ and then immediately kind of have one bout with them and drop off. Usually they're longer contracts if you're going to get a big contract like a guy like Gordon Ryan. So that was interesting and made me kind of think about, I wonder how those contracts are structured, if they're single bout contracts or they're multiple bout contracts, which I assumed Ryan's was.
I don't know. He was also sick a lot. He got staph
twice, right? He got MRSA once and got staph once. Or he got MRSA twice. No, one's resistant, one is not resistant. They're kind of different things.
What are they both called?
Staphylococcus aureus.
Yeah, except for one is resistant to the medication that kills it. Right?
All right.
So it's both a staph infection, right?
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Like right now, you have MRSA in your nose.
Oh, yeah, because
everybody has it. If they did a swab of your nose, they would find it. Why? Because it's in there. And what happens? Your immune system breaks down a little bit, and then you get MRSA. That's why people get in the hospital a lot.
Yeah, it's like one of those common hospital infections around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's free agency. Josh, anything else? Do you want to kind of touch on that? What do you think we'll see him next? What do you think I assume we're going to see him on...
Something that pays him money, EBI, something like that.
Yeah. I thought he said he wasn't going to do EBI again. He's kind of reached the peak of what he can do with EBI, and that's why he went over to ACBJ, because it was a bigger platform for him.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with that, but that's really all I have on it.
So another thing happened this week. A photo came out of Rousimar Palhares that made him look like he ate the other Rousimar Palhares.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is Photoshop.
Oh, there's no way it wasn't Photoshopped. You saw his, I think his left hand was literally the size of his head.
It was enormous. And then you look at his other hand, and he's standing at an angle, but your hand doesn't shrink that much because of perspective.
Yeah, it's not a forced perspective shot. And then Full Grappling put out like a 15-minute uncommentated video of just him training and grappling. And you're like, okay, he's definitely really big, but he does not look like Looney Tunes proportions like he did in that one photo that got released.
And this is the exact same thing happened with Leandro Lowe, where that one picture came out, and he looked fucking enormous, and people were losing their minds like, holy shit, he's big, he's on the Bamba, all this other stuff. And then it turns out that somebody just photoshopped it, just put it out there and was like, heh. And they found the original picture, and he looked normal.
He looked big, but he didn't look like, he looked gigantic. So similar thing happened with Rousimar.
If I see that Popeye arm on video when they're grappling, that's when I believe it.
So I will say, Rousimar does look significantly bigger than he looked like a year ago. The last time we've seen him.
Everybody remembers like him from his smaller times,
like the UFC back at 170,
from 185, things like that. The dude obviously does not cut weight for anything anymore, and he obviously puts anything in his mouth that he sees and thinks is edible.
Yeah, that's one way to put that.
He just eats. Like, I'm pretty sure that there are people at his gym that do not roll with him because they're afraid he's going to literally eat them.
I mean, and other reasons as well, Josh.
Look, he caught submissions in that video and then let go when they tapped.
Yeah.
So,
dude, he is a monster. Like, props to Craig. Like, he's definitely bigger than Craig Jones.
Dude, his fucking mustache. That's what I'm
And he's got, like, the cuts in his hair. He has, like, the hair all
like
styled.
Mike Tyson. Like the Brazilian
Mike Tyson. He looks like
Mike Tyson.
1980s Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
When Mike Tyson was terrifying with, like, the shit cut in his hair. I'm like, oh, God. I'm so excited about this match. We'll talk about this match a little later, but that video came out, and everyone's freaking out online that he looks so giant. He looks giant, but it's Photoshopped.
It's Photoshopped.
So there's not a ton of other news, really, this week.
Nope. So let's get on to the into the coverage.
So on to the recap of Fight to Win 83 in Danbury, Connecticut. This event paid out a total of $18,879 in salaries and commissions and was headlined by Rafael Formiga Barbosa defeating Casio Wernick via armbar.
Why are you always spoiling shit like that? If we're going to read through the results and talk about the matches.
If you listen to this show, you know we spoil shit at the beginning. You skip past the beginning if you don't want to get it spoiled. You're also not going to listen to this show unless you've watched the card.
Not necessarily. Maybe you don't have a chance to get it. Maybe you want a little bit of a breakdown of some of these things, and you want to be informed by two morons.
You could be doing that.
Yeah,
I've heard some people do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Submission rate, 34%.
One of the lower submission rates we've seen.
That I can remember.
Yeah, I can't remember.
12 submissions out of 35 matches.
Yeah, it's not. It's a lower rate than we typically see. A lot of decisions, a lot of split decisions.
Still higher than my kill rate in Fortnite.
What's your kill rate in Fortnite?
Terrible.
Yo, you that garbage?
Dude, I am bad. It's great.
You just start playing or something?
Yeah. Like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and not
what do you play
consistently? On? PlayStation, of course.
I thought you were doing phone or something like that.
Oh God, no! I do have it on my phone just to mess around,
Jesus.
But I don't play. And it's so bad because with the controller you don't have the sensitivity.
Okay.
The ease of mobility and the ability to speed build or anything
with
like
keyboard
that.
and mouse is just easier.
Yeah, you crush with it.
Dude,
I mean, they're a good console
deep in GTA 5 all of a sudden. I got GTA 5 again for Xbox One. Dude, I love that game so much. They've stolen so many cars.
Are you gonna get into the GTA role playing things?
No. I'll play it for like 3 weeks, then get bored with it, and then go back to my life. But for those 3 weeks, it's amazing. So, on to the coverage of this card. Starting at the top. We're going to start with the black belts.
We're going to start at the top?
We're going to start at the top, Josh. Mixing it up.
He's mixing it up.
Josh about to go on vacation. I'm sad about that. We're going to have a guest host in next week, potentially
or
2.
Guest hosts.
Yeah, potentially 2. We're not sure yet.
They won't be as awesome as I am.
I mean, they're going to be different.
Fuck you guys. I am awesome.
All right,
you guys
so
are not.
Black belts.
As Maine said, Rafael Formiga defeated Casio Wernick by armbar.
That was a Masters match.
Yeah.
I'm just happy. I heard a podcast that Seth talked about. He goes, look, we can't put the guys that are in Masters against the adults anymore. He goes, well, I want to see them compete. He goes, I like watching the Masters guys compete. He goes, but we can't. That's why we need the Masters belts. That's why we can't have these guys competing against like the adult competitors.
18-year-olds?
Yeah, 18-year-olds, 19-year-old black belts. It's like, man, he's like, I want to see him compete, but I want to put him in matchups that make sense for them. And this is a good match. This is a matchup that made sense. So happy to see a Masters match headline on the card.
Joe Apadesano defeated Dan Durkee by decision. João Paulo Mariana Cruvinel. Man, that's a lot of names.
4 names.
Defeated Jojo Guarin, who we said his full name and not the Jojo part last week, and I was like, is that the same guy? So it is. By split decision. Jordan Lutsky defeated Greg Soto by decision. Mike Palladino defeated Frankie Roberts by decision. I just burped, sorry.
That's the Wendy's coming through.
Yeah. Marcos Paulo Cruvinel defeated Chris Simmons by decision. Diogo Arujo defeated Enrique Galarza by decision. Leonardo Delgado defeated Rick Hahn by straight ankle lock.
That's surprising.
Take that, judo guy.
Jesus.
I'm kidding. Rick Hahn's awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Tex Johnson, who doesn't have a beard anymore.
Wait.
I'm wondering if he shaved it off to make the 205 weight limit.
His beard had to add at least 4 pounds.
Did you see the picture of his face?
No. I saw his face. I didn't see the picture of his face.
There's a picture of his face that they posted where it was like, hey.
Is his face
And
like super white?
Dude, it just looks really weird because I'm always used to seeing him with a
He's
beard.
had that beard for a long time.
I'm always used to seeing it. So I was like, oh, who is this guy? And I was like, oh, God. That's Tex Johnson. He does not have a beard.
I've trained with guys before that have I met them with big bushy beards, like down to like past their chin, past their neck and stuff. And then one day they'll come to the gym and it's shaved off, and I have no idea who this guy is.
I've weirded people out at work because I started. Some of them didn't see me when I started, and I was always clean shaven because I was still in culinary school.
I think I met you when you were pretty clean shaven.
Ugh, God, I look so bad.
Well, I could tell you're fat then, and then
I had hair on my head more than likely.
Yeah, it was short, but yeah, you had hair. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't even remember the last time I shaved. My facial hair just doesn't grow very quickly. Anyway, back into it. Where were we? Oh yes, Tex Johnson defeated Todd Buchanan by split decision.
You sounded super unconfident in that name.
Oh, no. There's too many. It's close, probably. Bruno Cesar de Souza defeated Felipe Simplicio by decision. Kyle Ferrison defeated Gerson Luciano by split decision. Dylan Royce defeated Dave Dobson by bow and arrow choke. And Rob Gutierrez defeated Omar Delgado by split decision. Moving on to the brown belts.
I want to talk about the black belts here for a second. I think it's really interesting that there's, at least this particular card has so few submissions at the black belt.
3
out of, I think, 10 or 12?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 matches.
13 matches. Man, that's uncommon. It's uncommon you get that few submissions, especially with that many black belts. You had 26 black belts on the card, and you had 3 of those matches go to submission. Again, it means you have good matchmaking because guys can't sub each other, but
it all depends.
But with the fight to win rule set, it's interesting. You typically see far more submissions on these cards than this, and I thought it was just very interesting for this particular card.
The kids in the purple belts really helped this out.
Yeah, so on to the brown belt results.
Felipe Hosha defeated David Rodriguez by decision. Mateo Martinez defeated Aaron Teve by decision. Nick Damioni.
It's got a J in it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you that.
Defeated Ben Marzal by decision. John Thomas defeated Chris Bognam by decision. Tyler King defeated Andrew Teve. Oh, I was like, no, I already said that, but that's Aaron is above him. By decision. And Pascal Real defeated defeated Vincent Camacho by armbar.
That was the only submission in the brown belts. Interesting. On to the kids and teens results.
Cameron Brown defeats Hannah Samoes by triangle. Hector Doval defeated Brandon Toscano by decision. Jalen Mitchell defeated Tyler Neva by split decision. And what?
I think it's Gibson. Yeah, no, I think it's supposed to be
Gisbo?
Gisbel.
Gisbo Pagan? Sorry. Defeated Jacob Bett by triangle.
On to the purple belt results.
Actually, the purple belts were the main ones that got all of these submissions.
Man, we're purple belts. We're easy to submit. Okay, we tend to make a lot of fucking mistakes, and don't hold it against us. We're still learning.
Dave Bannon defeated Michael McGregor by decision. Kevin Wilcoxon defeated Sergio Rodriguez by decision. Grant Frederick defeated Ian Want by rear naked choke. Brenda Gonzaga defeated Natalie O'Reilly by decision. Tanya Mayen defeated Kristen Gardner by triangle. Rich Romaine or Romani? What do you think?
I'm going to go with Romaine. I've never heard of him called Romani.
Well, there's not normally an E in there, is it?
Romane?
I don't know. We're terrible with names. You all know that. Defeats Michael Maldonado by decision. Brandon Cullen defeated Jeff Roberts by triangle. Rainey Hosney defeated Angel Rodriguez by decision. Angel, excuse
Look,
me.
I'm sorry. On this show, unless I know it's Angel, you're Angel.
Nick Navarro defeated Tiago Matos by neck crank.
Yeah, I love neck cranks.
Don't do that. Corey Stockton defeated Lou Finateri by heel hook. Lee McHugh defeated Julian Reza by straight ankle lock. And Adam Firestone defeated Daniel Mina by decision.
And that does it for Fight to Win 83 in Connecticut. Hey, what's up? If you like the show, please consider sharing the show on Facebook or with other members of your gym. That's the best way that we grow the show and really appreciate it.
Give it 5 stars on iTunes or any other podcast platform that you listen to.
Thanks a lot. So Finisher 6 happened this weekend. It was live streamed on Show the Arts Facebook page, on their YouTube page. The whole event is about 4 hours long. Fantastic event. A lot of big names on it. We saw guys like Keith Krikorian, has a huge undercard. It had a big 155-pound bracket that we're going to cover a little more next week. We just want to give it, its full time. We have not had time to make full notes on this event yet. It's great. You should watch it. I was actually supposed to go to this event, but I had some family stuff come up this Sunday and was unable to get out there and cover it live. Pretty disappointed about that. But the whole event's 4 hours long. It's just packed with great matches. And instead of just reading through the results, we figured that we would take a pause, go through it next week with the 2 co-hosts that are going to be on the show, and it will be great then. So tune in for that next week. So moving on to our preview of Kasai Pro 3. This event is shaping up to be a banger, as the kids say these days.
Flamethrower of a card. I can't even talk. That's how exciting it is.
So we're going to talk about the super fights first. Let's kick off with the big dogs. Let's talk about Craig Jones versus Rousimar Palhares. This is a 10-minute submission-only match, followed by a 5-minute overtime period under Kasai tournament rules for no-gi bouts, and it is only at 185 pounds, which I'm surprised Palhares can make.
I was about to say, are we going to talk about that? Because I don't think he's going to make that weight.
Dude, how tall is he? Do you have any idea?
3 feet, 5 inches.
All right, so he's Taquino.
He's a
tree stump.
midget.
He's a tree stump.
Yes. No, he's like 5'8", 5'9", I think.
Is he that short?
Yes.
Jesus.
He is literally like Mike Tyson.
So he's tree stump. That's why he's Taquino.
Toquinho.
All right, Josh, my pronunciation of the Portuguese name is not perfect. My bad. How do you see this match going?
I think we're going to have another Gary Tonin Palhares type matchup. But
sorry, that being said, that is still one of the best super fight matches of all time. That was one of the most exciting matches I've ever seen. If you want to get someone into grappling, and what is professional grappling? What's super fights? That's the match I showed them. That match was fucking fire.
The thing is, though, Craig isn't going to wrestle.
No, Gary was totally willing to wrestle with him. Greg's going to pull.
So, I think what's going to happen is...
You got real southern there, Josh, before your vacation.
I got really weird. Craig is obviously going to pull, and he's going to play that half guard, and Palhares is going to try to do foot stuff, and Craig is going to counter that and do his own foot stuff and actually beat him by submission.
You think he'll get knee bar him or heel hook him?
Heel hook. Craig Jones by heel hook. In regulation.
I could see it.
Not even, and this is a 10-minute sub only. This is followed by 5-minute overtime period. So, and it's under the Kasai tournament rules. So it's going to follow that. Next match, AJ Agazarm versus Gilbert Dorino Burns.
So Dorino is a late replacement here for Gio Martinez, which I'm kind of surprised that. Oh, this bout's at 170 now.
Yeah.
Okay, because initially this was not a 170 bout. I don't think AJ is. I think AJ probably walks at 65. Because he cut for ADCC. He cut way down. He was in the same weight class as Ryan, as Nicky Ryan.
Whatever.
This is a 15-minute
again in the 77 kilo division.
This is a 15-minute submission only no-gi bout at 170, and this is a judge's decision in the event of a no submission finish. So different rules than the Rousimar Palhares and Craig Jones match. It's a longer match though. What do you think, Josh? It's a submission only, so AJ can't get 2 points and ride it out. But we've seen AJ struggle with judges' decisions because AJ's a very, very good point fighter. And Dorino is a good point fighter, but I find him to be a much more dominating top control wrestler than we have seen AJ recently.
AJ is not the wrestler that DJ Jackson is. Not in the sense of like ability-wise, but control-wise.
Okay,
DJ,
I agree there.
I mean, we can use that. DJ versus Dorino at Fight to Win 53.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were at that
53. One. In Frederick.
Yep. Maryland.
Yes. Dorino just got completely controlled by DJ's wrestling, and DJ would just like smash down.
Remember, DJ's also a big guy too. I think Dorino was definitely bigger than Jackson at that match, or similar size to Jackson. I do not think that AJ is going to be a similar size here to Dorino.
No, so this is where I was going with that, was I don't think AJ could do what DJ did. So AJ's going to have to rely on scrambling more.
Which AJ's very good at,
right?
Too. But
and
again,
I don't know if AJ's wrestling can trump Dorino's wrestling.
Because we just saw Dorino versus Nick Calvanisi at Fight to Win Pro Philly, and that was a stand-up wrestling banger match. It looked almost like a Greco match at places, and every time that Nick would shoot, Dorino would just fucking sprawl hard as shit. So I don't think AJ is going to be able to get in on his hips, especially being, even if he's faster, especially being the smaller guy with the level of sprawl we've seen from Dorino recently, and like the speed we've seen him at. And we saw him against Calvanisi at Philly. We saw him against Gregor Gracie, where his wrestling was on display in a big way. There ended the match by like separating
Gracie's
shoulder. So this is a tough match for AJ. I don't see how AJ wins this match. I see Dorino controlling from top position here. I don't think he'll be able to sub AJ unless he can get the back and get the rear naked choke, because we've seen AJ get choked like that before. But it's so hard to get on AJ's back without being gifted the position.
It'll be interesting. I don't know how I'm going to call this, honestly.
I'm going to call it decision for Dorino. I just don't see him. I don't see him subbing AJ, and I don't see AJ being able to get to a dominating enough position on Dorino, given the size disparity, to submit Dorino. Dorino's notoriously hard to submit. AJ is notoriously hard to submit. With the size differential here and the wrestling at play, I think Dorino gets this done with top pressure wrestling.
And finally, Gianni Grippo versus John Calistine.
Sorry, that being said, or they stand 15 minutes and it's the most boring shit ever.
Okay, yeah, that could also happen.
Which I still think Dorino gets it at that point. So on to the next match.
Grippo versus Calistine. 15 minutes, sub only, no gi, 150. Judge's decision in the event of no submission.
This is a good-ass match. This is a step up for
Calistine.
Grippo's been, what, was he second at Worlds or third? Or
no, he didn't place because Casino knocked him out.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yep, that was our errant prediction this year that we messed up.
That I messed up. You said he would win and go through to the finals, but Shane would beat him.
Yeah, it was him and Shane. I thought that Shane would take it, and that ended up differently than we thought.
But Shane still took it.
Yeah.
Gianni's got to watch his feet. That's all there really is to it. He's just got to watch his legs. He's got to, This is 150, so I think Gianni's going to have to cut here, and John is not going to have to cut at all. I think John walks around 150-ish, because we saw him make 35 for for EBI. Gianni does featherweight.
Does he cut the featherweight? He cuts the featherweight though, right?
Yeah.
What's
but
featherweight for IBJJF? I should know this at this point.
I want to say
always
it's
mix it up.
154.
Oh, that's why. Okay. For
And
some
you have to
reason, yeah,
factor in
you're
the
right. With
gi.
the gi, so he's probably okay. Yep, my bad. I
Some
had
weight
that wrong.
I will never be.
I make that shit all the time.
You walk around at it after
Actually,
eating
sorry.
a burrito.
I weighed in at the doctor this week at 154 with clothes on. I'm heavy, Josh, since this knee injury. It's not great.
I'm surprised I actually didn't see you at training today.
Yeah, I didn't feel great. I was just like, I need to let my body rest. I got approved for an MRI. Went to the doctor Friday, and she was like, yeah, it's still not great. You should get an MRI. I was like, God damn it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that this week and like see if it's torn or not. Hopefully it's not torn, but we'll see.
I rode with a bunch of people today, including someone that we will refer to as Banana Hands. And you know exactly who I'm talking about, even though you're looking at me crazy. He's got giant hands.
Yeah, Josh, I got that. I have no idea who the fuck you're talking about.
Okay.
No, okay. I think I know who you're talking about. You got to tell me after we record. I think I know who you're talking about now.
Okay. And if anybody doesn't get the reference I'm making, if you've ever seen Shallow Hal with Jack Black, he calls Tony Robbins Banana Hands after Tony Robbins grabs his face. Tony Robbins has really big hands.
Yeah, he does.
And he's like, calm down, Banana Hands. And I've always thought that was funny. And anybody with obscenely large hands, I just call them Banana Hands.
All right. So how do you see this match going? The Grippo versus Kallenstein
Grippo
match.
either takes a decision or Kallenstein gets a leg lock.
Yeah, Kallenstein's hard to submit.
He's just so squat.
Again, so is Grippo. I think Grippo, just due to the overall higher level of competition that he's faced repeatedly, especially in IWJJF, you know, the world performances he's had, and like just those high level guys, because he has more of that. I think that Grippo will decision it. I would not be surprised to see Kallenstein roll through and grab a leg here. I think Grippo's going to be a little bigger than Kallenstein now that I've made that mess up with his weight. Yeah. And I just think that Grippo will probably decision Kallenstein here from the top, but just pressure him.
All right, let's move to the actual 8-man bracket here.
This is a fun-ass bracket, too.
It's not out yet, though, so we don't know how it's going to be.
Yeah, we have the entries at this point, but we don't have the actual layout of the bracket. Who's on side A, who's on side B, and who's going to go against each other. So we typically do not like to speculate about these things because
we say that and then we speculate anyway.
We don't like to speculate against, like, oh, how is it going to match up? Because there's just so many potential matchups, but
it'll be interesting. There are a lot of good guys on this card. Mikey Perez, Masahiro Iwasaki, Jason Rao, Hanato Kanuto, PJ Barch, Wagner Hosha, Marcin Held, and then Mateus Lutis or Luch. I don't. L-U-T-E.
We've seen him on something.
Mateus?
Yeah.
The Kasai
Mateus
qualifier.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
We saw a while ago that
That's
he
why.
qualified.
We covered that. I forgot.
This has potential for being a really awesome tournament, no matter how they're broken up into the field.
There's a
bracket
bunch
A
of
and
guys
bracket
that
B.
could take this.
Yes.
Like, I'm looking at usually when you cover Superfight cards, as Josh and I do for, as long as we've done this, you see, okay, this guy's out, this guy's out, this guy's out. And, you typically get down to like 2 or 3 guys or like one guy that's probably going to take the whole bracket relatively easily or like with a little bit of problem, but he'll take the bracket. With this one, I can't pick a winner here. Like, I could see all of I think your front runners are definitely Wagner, Marcin, and god damn. See, I can't. Like, Wagner,
Hanato Kanuto is a solid competitor. Iwasaki is a solid competitor.
even Lutz is a solid competitor.
Barch, like all of those dudes are
top 15
they all have
in the
potential.
Weight class. They're all top 15 in the weight class at black belt.
I don't know about that. And I don't think the qualifier is a black belt. I think he's a brown belt.
I must be messing him up in my head who I think he is.
I could be 100% incorrect, but I thought he was a brown belt when he won the qualifier.
You're probably correct in that. So, but again, it'll
be interesting how they match it up, and it'll probably come out tomorrow after we're done recording.
Oh, as always, Josh, brackets always come out like you're driving home, and they come out at like 2 a.m. on Sunday night. It's like, cool, the brackets are out now.
For that. I got to go to bed after I finish packing up. By the way, if you want to know who the champions of procrastinating are, please come and meet myself and my wife. That would be us.
And me too. Dude, I watched Rachel and I pack for a week in Colorado about 3 hours before we had to get on the plane.
Okay. So when did you book your flight for it?
No, I didn't book shit.
When was the flight booked for it?
Rachel booked it 5 months in advance because it was cheap.
Then, when did she book where you were staying?
We stayed with her mom.
Okay. So you don't have to book anything.
We didn't have to book shit. It was
so
great.
You had that all taken care of. The only thing you really procrastinated on was packing.
Yeah.
And you were gone for a week?
Yeah, a
so
week.
You need a couple of gis, a few pairs of underwear, some T-shirts, some shorts, some pants, and maybe a hoodie.
I took a gi. I took like 3 sets of no-gi stuff, and I think some other clothes, maybe, and like a computer.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
So we really started nailing this down 2.5 weeks ago.
For a trip?
Yep.
Jesus. Do you have flights?
That's when we got the flight.
Jesus.
That was the first thing that we got was the flight. 2.5 weeks ago.
Dude, I get my workplace like 2 months notice on any vacation I'm taking.
I've told them since March that I was going away in August.
Okay. So
they don't believe that I told them that, but I did. So Airbnbs, that's what we're doing. We're not going hotels. It's a little expensive. You know what I mean?
Hotels or Airbnbs?
Hotels.
Okay.
So we're Airbnb-ing it, right? The last Airbnb we booked for in between, since we're hopping around everywhere.
Yep.
Friday.
Jesus.
Right?
Please tell me that was the first one you were staying at. Like you didn't have a first hotel.
No. That was the third one in the 4 places we're staying trip.
Okay.
The first one that we booked was last Saturday.
Dude, you planned a week-long trip with your entire family in 8 days.
Last Saturday.
What is wrong with you?
I told you.
That's why we
champions of procrastination.
Jesus.
But this is because my wife is anally thorough. Like, she will start looking for the best. She is more Jewish than I am, and I was born Jewish. She looks for the best deal, almost to her detriment, because a lot of times she's like, yeah, we've got this, let's book it. And it's like 3 days later when she's finally decided and the price has gone up, which is what happened with our car, which we booked Thursday.
So 3 days ago.
Uh-huh.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, so we were looking at cars, and...
Dude, you're really going all out on this procrastination thing.
Uh-huh.
Like, this made me think of, like, I finished papers for college that were, like, literally semester-long term papers. That, like, I started them the day before they were, like, 12 hours before they were due for the course in college. It's like, oh, you don't...
That's a lot of time, 12 hours to work on a paper.
On a 3-month paper?
Yeah.
It's, like, 15 pages long?
Uh-huh. That's a lot of time. I would normally do those 2.5 hours before I had to turn it in.
I can't write 15 pages in 2.5 hours.
Man, I'm really good at writing bullshit.
Jesus.
If you know any of the material, you can just fill it all in. Anyway.
I didn't know the material, though.
Oh, well.
All right, so continue with your procrastination story for your vacation here.
So we finally got a car, but we found one. I was like, look, this is only $36 a day. And it wasn't an economy car.
That's really good.
It wasn't.
It was a full-size. You, your wife, and your 2 kiddos.
Right.
Damn.
It's a full-size car, right?
Okay.
I found an SUV for like $40. And I'm like, let's jump on this deal now. It's only going to get worse. She's like, hold on. Let me look at a few more places. So we went to go book it, right? Everything went up another $30.
Jesus.
So like we were looking at almost $900 in car rentals. And we only paid $750 in airfare round trip.
Jesus.
Yeah. So we ended up finding, finally, on Thursday, a decent priced vehicle for like $500 for the entire 8 days.
That's still not terrible.
No, but it's better. You know, we didn't want to pay that. I would have rather paid $300. But
right. Jesus. So you beat me. You got me beat on procrastination. Back to Kasai.
If anybody's got any other procrastination stories that you can beat me with, I'd love to hear that too. Let's go back to Kasai. Let's get into the undercard because there are a lot of names that you know, and it will be really interesting.
Dude, Junior Casio is on the undercard, which is crazy to me.
He was in the first one.
I know. He was the qualifier for the first one. He was a purple belt then. And then he got his brown belt. Now he's still a brown belt. We saw him, against Malachi at the Worlds. We've seen him all around since then. And he is going against Ethan Krelestein from TriStar.
Krelestein, yeah.
And I've seen
everywhere.
Ethan on something.
Finishers. You've seen him on a whole bunch of stuff.
So this is going to be a really good matchup on the card.
That'll be a very interesting match. I think they've competed against each other before, and I think Ethan has the winning record.
Well, I think because if June is at Unity and Ethan's at Henzo's, like they're in New York. Those guys compete all the time.
Ethan's mostly in Canada.
But he's TriStar / Henzo, so I assume he's down there and probably competes when he is down there. So I assume they've bumped into each other before. I don't know offhand. It would not surprise me if this is the second time or third time these guys have met up.
This one's in the gi at 145. Silvio Duran versus Edu Gonçalves. That'll be a good one. A-Force has some good guys, and Vitor Shaolin's place always produces
Good guys.
Yeah. No gi match, 185 pounds. Ryan Quinn from Henzo Gracie's versus John Blank from 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu.
Both of these guys.
Quinn, I follow him on Instagram. If
Okay.
I'm not mistaken, I believe his name is @PizzaJitsu.
That's okay.
He
That's why.
is hilarious. I enjoy his posts and the meme things that he does. Pretty amusing
I
guy.
love me some jiu-jitsu memes.
Solid competitor. So that'll be a very interesting match. I have not heard of Blank. I might have.
We've seen Blank somewhere.
Had to.
On,
I don't know.
On a qualifier or something.
Anyway, another no-gi 145 match. Frank Rosenthal from Henzo Gracie's Academy.
Who's been killing it recently. We've covered him
Killing
on Rise. We've covered him on Pick Your... He was at Finishers today. Finisher 6. He was at that event. I saw him during the broadcast. I was like, oh shit, that's Frank Rosenthal. Look at that.
Versus Ashley Williams, a.k.a. Ash Williams.
I
who
think
we've
they've
seen
competed
on
before.
EBI
I think
before.
these two guys have competed against each other at least once or twice.
Possibly. Again, we need like a...
We need a database.
Yes.
A black belt database, because us remembering this offhand,
Not even a...
Is
We just
getting
need a
rough.
match database.
yeah, like we need topology for BJJ.
Nogi 175 match. Nick Ronan, who was on the Finisher series today,
Yep.
versus Alex Miller. A gi 150-pound match. João Pereira versus Thiago Brito. Brito I'm very familiar with from a lot of competitions just because I've seen him pop up a lot. No gi 105-pound match. Grace Gundrum versus Isabella Frezzo.
Is she only 105?
I doubt she's even 105.
No, I
pounds.
think she's been at under 105. I think she cuts down to like 105.
I thought she was like 90 pounds.
I think she's gotten. There's a picture of her, and she's gotten much taller very recently. I think she's a little bigger, so it's interesting to see her at 105.
I don't know.
Should
Anyway,
be a good match. I assume that Grace is gonna hit the legs hard.
or the triangle or the whatever. She looks so emotionless,
She does, but she's
All the
fucking
time.
dope at jiu-jitsu.
and then
Good
she'll
for-
smile. And
Oh,
it
and
weirds
she's
me out.
wrestling now. She recently placed like third at some like California national wrestling event, which is
Frightening.
like Jesus Christ.
Frightening. Nogi 140-pound match. Mikhail Yaya from Absolute MMA versus Zach Maslany from 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu Bethlehem.
They have a Finishers Only podcast. That's their podcast. And Zach is the promoter for a superfight organization.
Finishers.
Yep. Okay.
You really forgot
Man.
finishers when you just said it like 2
my
seconds
brain,
ago?
like I said, it's been a week as per usual. Yeah. I knew that. My bad. Jesus.
Gi 150-pound match. Giovanni Rosario versus Gannon
I
Lang.
saw Gannon Lang a couple weeks ago on Fight to Win Maryland,
Yep.
and I've competed against him before.
And he beat you.
He did beat me, Josh.
He's a small child.
That was my my first one.
I don't know. No, he's just a...
No, it was actually funny because we both, I think we both registered at 155, and then I walk onto the mat, and this guy's like my size. I was like, yo, why are we both in this division? He goes, oh yeah, no one was in 155. No one was in 145. So I just went up. I was like, it's the same thing. And
then he beat your
then he
ass
beat my ass, and it wasn't great.
like a child.
That was like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Nogi 170-pound match. John Potts versus Craig McDonald. And the undercard rule set is 6-minute time limits. No gi match. Kasai Pro rules apply. Gi match follows IBJJF rules.
I like that all the undercards are 6 minutes. I think that's a really good length for undercard matches because, like, in, out, if you have a guy that can, like, really show it and put on a good-ass match, he can show you that in 6 minutes. I think when you have 8 and 10-minute matches on the undercards, it tends to drag sometimes. You have guys that are not matched up poorly, but if the action doesn't happen in those matches, I think a 6-minute match, it's a match that's a slower match, doesn't drag too long, and guys that are exciting and can put on a performance can do that in 6 minutes. So super excited for this event. I'm still really excited to see what the 8-man bracket looks like for the 170-pound division for Kasai. They are at this point they're going to have a middleweight bracket, a 55 bracket, and this will be their 170. So where do you think they go after this?
I have no idea. They are just going to do whatever the hell they want to do, and I'm okay with that. They can do 45. They could do 205. They could do heavyweight. They could do 35.
They'll probably go 45. I have a feeling they'll do 45 next.
Whatever.
Wouldn't surprise me. So
what happens if they do women?
Ooh, that'd be exciting.
Ooh, throwing it in there.
They could do 35 women.
They could do 45 women. They could do 55 women. I don't care.
Oh, absolute women. That would be great.
Yeah. Anyway, that's Kasai. Looking forward to that.
So on to our preview of Fight to Win 84 in Chicago, Illinois. This event is main evented by a 190-pound black belt gi match, Matt Layton versus Dante Leone. Didn't we just see these guys against each other? Or am I an idiot?
They've gone against each other as brown belts, I think. I
Okay.
think that's what Matt was saying when somebody was asking him a question when he was at Maryland.
He was at Baltimore because he was at 82 in Baltimore a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Who did he compete against then?
Tim Spriggs.
That's what it was. Okay. Yep. So that'd be a great match. We just saw Dante Leone not too long ago against Wagner Hosha in Grappling Industries.
Mm-hmm.
And he got
saw him in something else.
Yeah, we see both these guys all the time. They're looking to get on every single super fight they can. This should be a good match. This is a great main event.
Yes. So, moving on, 225-pound black belt gi match, Tommy Woodruff versus Simon Park. 205-pound black belt gi match, Adam Redzovic.
Adim.
I
I
think
always-
it's Adam.
Okay.
A-D-
Adam Redzovic.
There's not enough E's for Adim. I think it's Adam, just
Okay.
Adem.
I always mess
I
up
could
his
be
fir-
wrong.
I always mess up his
I
first
could be
name.
100% wrong. Anyway, versus Chris Race.
We see Redzovic on not Philly too on Chicago cards.
Yep. 185-pound black belt no-gi match, Stephen Patterson versus John Guta. 180-pound black belt gi match, Leo Perez. Yeah, I think there's an extra E in there. Perez versus Mike Sim. 180-pound black belt gi match, Bob Hemrick versus Ryan Courtney. 175-pound black belt gi match, Jeff Serafin versus William Van Hoen. 170-pound black belt gi match, Mark Vives. We said it right.
Almost called him Vives in my
I
head.
almost did too. Versus Jeff Yamule.
Yeah, Mark actually
Yumi.
clarified that for us at Baltimore.
Yeah, he was
Super pleasant guy.
great dude. Again, I got to train with him many, many, many years ago when my brother was graduating from basic training from the Navy, and it's near Chicago, and I always bring a gi and have to train somewhere. And I went and I trained at his school, and it was really fun, and all the guys were super nice. And, you know, as I was leaving, they were like, come back anytime. We'd love to have you. And I was like, I will if I ever come back in this general area. Haven't been back. But we'll see. 170-pound black belt no-gi match, David Garmo versus Alexander Rehasik. I think I said that right.
I think you did actually, Josh. Doesn't Garmo run Modern Flow?
Yes, he does, and
Okay.
he's on the Carpe Diem team. And
Okay,
he's-
yeah. Oh, we just saw him on Quintet.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Yeah, that guy. And we
Yep.
saw him on a Fight to Win
Yep.
after
Oh, yeah.
the quintet.
We
So,
see him all the time.
yes.
Garmo.
Yeah, 165-pound black belt gi match. Is that dude's name Brick? I almost called him Brian, and then I was like, wait a second.
his name's
That dude's
Brick.
name is Brick.
Like Anchorman?
You're awesome. Yes. I love Lamp. Brick Welsh versus Steve Kinnison. God, we're such children. It's great. I really hope Brick wins by piercing Steve's chest with a trident.
Jesus, Josh.
Or throwing a grenade at him.
No one's ever going to take us back. On to
I'm sorry. Anchorman is a good movie.
It's
and
a
this
great-
dude's name is Brick, and it's
a
just
great,
really
it's
exciting.
a great film, Josh. 155 black belt gi match.
Oh, thank you. Caio Oliveira versus Alexander Molinaro.
Dude, one of us has to get us back on the rails. Apparently this week it's me.
Apparently. 135-pound black belt no-gi match. Joey Deal versus Perez Figueroa. We also have a 170-pound brown belt gi title match. Mike Layton, brother of...
Oh, I got super confused. I was looking, I was like, wait, why is Matt Layton headlining it and also headlining a brown belt title match? Like, I have no idea what's going on right now. It's Mike. It's his brother. It's his brother.
Versus Blake Classman. Now, Mark Vives specifically said, keep an eye on this kid because he is really good. So, definitely catch that match.
Yeah, no pressure, by the way.
No pressure, by the way, Mike. Is there any more championship matches? Any purple belt? Oh, here's one.
Yep,
here's
there we
one.
go.
Not expected to say this. Lightweight, blue belt guillotine title. Alex Salas versus, is that Tyler?
I think it's Taylor.
It might just be a misspelling. Taylor Story. So that's actually kind of cool. We've seen a little bit of the kids
I
matches.
don't recall the last teen title match that I've seen. I keep trying to say Teen Titan match, and it's teen title match that I've seen. So that'll be exciting. Again, I love that they're building out. I love that they're building out these divisions, and there's more and more champions now that are.
It's really cool that they're
exciting
filling these in, and you're giving these kids like a chance to do these things.
And it's really cool because they're showcasing Seth is a really good matchmaker.
He is.
And the more I watch these cards, and the more I cover it.
Me. Or maybe that's me just taking any fight that's presented to
You
me.
do, Josh. You always take, I watched you get the bout offer, and then just yes. Didn't look up the guy, didn't do anything. You're like, yes. You would fight Godzilla for $1 if Seth offered it to you.
Anybody out there named Godzilla, I will compete against you.
Like I'm saying, Josh.
Maybe more than $1.
I cannot think of a single grappler on this earth that if Seth were to offer you a match, you would decline. Like Paul Harris, you'd be like, cool.
Done.
Like Cyborg, you'd be like, done.
In.
Like Shab, you'd be like, in. There's not a single match I can think that I wouldn't take that match.
I wouldn't turn down anything.
That's what I mean. I give you props because there's certain matches. I've declined matches before for other super fight cards where they were trying to get. I was a brand new purple belt, and a promoter was like, "Oh, you gotta take this guy," and it was 15 pounds above what I said I wanted to do. I was like, "I'll do 145 to 150," and he's like, "Okay, we got a guy 165," and they showed me the name, and he was a brown belt, and he was a 3-stripe brown belt that had been brown for 3 or 4 years. And he had all these Naga belts and this one and that. I was like, no, I'm not going to compete against that guy. I've been purple for literally 2 weeks.
Maybe you shouldn't have put your name out there like that then. And I still would have taken that fight.
Yeah, of course you would, Josh, because you're a good brown belt.
No, I would have taken that fight as a blue belt.
Yeah, Josh, because you're stupid. I'm not trying to get my head ripped off by a 165-pound 19-year-old who does nothing but jujitsu and kill people.
Think about this. Most of the time when you do advanced divisions in most jiu-jitsu tournaments, those people are blue belts.
Or brown belts.
Blue belts.
Really?
I did 2 tournaments, one at beginner and one at intermediate, while a white belt.
Okay.
As soon as I got my blue belt, I started doing advanced divisions. And I beat blue belts and purple belts and brown belts, but I also lost to blue belts, purple belts, and brown belts and black belts. So, Yeah,
you'll take any match, man, maybe to your detriment. We got to get you some new brown belt that's decent, but not been brown and not on the cusp of black like everyone else you're fucking fighting. Jesus.
Oh, man. No, I enjoy it. It's fun.
Props to you, man. I just don't have that confidence in myself like you do.
Night Pigeon. Take you on. Seth, I'll take you on.
I'll watch those matches.
Missy, I'll take you on.
Missy's a blue belt still. Calm down.
Big Bird, I'll take you on.
She's a brown belt. I'm also a woman. I watched that match.
She punched me right in the face.
She would
and
punch
I'd
me
cry.
in the face. So that'll do it for our coverage of Fight to Win 84 in Chicago, Illinois. Looks like a fun card. The black belt card looks dope, so I'm really excited about this event.
It's a pretty deep event. I'm really excited about it. Hey, shout out to Alex Viana. I hope you're going to watch this live in Chicago, Illinois, because you live in Chicago, Illinois. Don't disappoint me.
Yeah, he better show up.
You motherfucker.
So that will do it for that will do it for this week on the Grappling Rewind podcast.
I'm going to be gone next week, and I'm going to giggle because Maine is going to pull his hair out trying to record with 2 people or 1 person or no people, depending on how that works out.
I realized I'm going to have to mic train them again. I had to do with you for the first 2 months. You constantly turn your head and shit.
Oh, I'm going to still do
man.
it. But hopefully Ryan and Emil, or just Ryan, or just Emil.
I don't think I've told
Do a
Emil
great
yet, by the
job.
way.
Hey, Emil, guess what? I told you to contact him.
Yeah, I forgot, Josh. It's been a big week.
I was sitting here and I text Ryan. I was like, "Hey, you wanna do
And then I
this?" And you were like,
I assume you texted Emil as well.
"I
and
said
then
you
that's
do
on
that,
you.
so
Nah,
I didn't have
forgot.
to do all the work."
What's up, Emil? You find it out now.
Emil, while you're listening to this, by the way, you may be a co-host on the Grappling Rewind podcast this Sunday coming because Josh will be in Colorado enjoying mountains and hiking and being away from people.
I feel like you're going to have a great time in Colorado.
I am going to pretty much turn off my phone. I'm going to have it on
Nothing wrong
airplane
with that.
mode, and I'm going to take some pictures.
Are you going to move out there?
My wife hates the cold.
Ooh, that's kind of a
Hates
deal breaker.
winter.
So you're going to divorce your wife and move out there?
No.
Okay. That's reasonable.
She definitely keeps me together because I'm a giant fucking mess if not.
Yeah, I record a show with you every week. I can attest to that. Props to her, man. She does a good job.
Mess. I would probably end up going out with a pair of underwear on my head as well as a pair of underwear where they're supposed to be. And that's really about it. You can frequently catch me in ridiculous looking shirts such as cats with swirly things on them.
Anything, man. Everything
cats
you wear to
wearing
the gym or out.
sunglasses. By the way, Baltimore BJJ represent the Royal Farms Chicken Palooza shirt.
Hold up. What was with... Okay, everyone at the gym got super excited about an $8 Royal Farms dry fit shirt.
By the way, if you're not
never
from the
seen-
area where Royal Farms are, I feel sorry for you. They have supposedly the best chicken ever.
They have good gas station chicken. I'll give you that. It's good. And when people bring it on fight night, when you're going to watch fights and someone shows up with Royal Farms chicken, I'm very excited about it. That being said, our gym...
Their chicken tenders are terrible.
They are, but the chicken itself is aight.
I'd rather go to KFC.
Yeah, KFC is the standard de facto. What do you think about KFC
Most
versus
people
Popeyes?
I fucking hate Popeyes.
All right.
I hate Popeyes
Yeah,
with like a deep
It's
passion.
always dry.
I hate their new commercials with that one lady where she's like, "You'll love this." I'm like,
I
no.
hate the Popeyes commercials.
No, I
like,
won't.
They were funny
KFC,
the first time.
I hate KFC commercials too.
I hate the
they keep
KFC
doing
commercials.
The Colonel Sanders
weird.
thing.
They're all weird and
They're
super
fucking
weird as shit.
But I will say this: they're like, I can't remember. It's like the sweet and spicy, like little tiny wings, and they're boneless or have bones in them.
A boneless wing is a chicken nugget. It's
But they're
2018.
shaped like a wing.
All right, we can bullshit
So-
all we want. A boneless wing is a fucking chicken nugget. I'll fight people for this. I don't give a fuck, Josh.
No, you won't.
I earned my purple belt. I'll fight you over chicken nuggets.
They're not chicken nuggets. They're not nugget shaped.
Oh, it's boneless wing.
And KFC has nuggets. So they're differentiated between nuggets and boneless wings. Obviously, it's just meat that's been thrown in a blender and then shaped in a mold like a wing, but it's a boneless wing. You feel me?
Okay, so what's
It is not a nugget
I honestly
because
don't,
it is not a nugget shape.
I don't have the mental wherewithal to deal
Why
with
do
this
they call it
argument.
popcorn shrimp or popcorn chicken? Did you pop it? No. They just took chunks of chicken, battered them, and threw them in the fryer and said, boom, popcorn.
And I really want to argue with this, but that's actually like the best argument that you've made about this subject, and I actually kind of agree with you now. You may have changed my stance on this.
They're not nuggets. I mean, they're probably made roughly the same way where the genetically modified meat is ground up and sent
There's
through a
nothing
thing.
wrong with GMO meat, okay?
Look, I'm just saying it's from a fucking...
It's from a magic chicken with giant breasts to make like 8 times larger than they should be.
Right,
and
it's
they grind
from
it down.
like a mutant chicken.
Yeah.
And there's two different things. They grind it down and they, coat it and make it into a nugget shape, or they grind it down, put it in a mold, turn it into a wing, cover it in delicious sauce, and then make it a boneless wing.
I realize that the end of our shows has now just turned into this.
It
And
should.
I don't have a
as
problem
it
with that.
should.
If you make it this far on the show, you earn this.
Anyway,
You
going
earned-
back to Royal Farms chicken, again, you can skip their tenders. The actual chicken is not too bad. Their chicken sandwich is all right.
Their arena is okay.
Look, they inherited that, okay?
They did inherit that.
They weren't like, hey, we're going to build an arena and it's going to be awesome. No, they inherited that shithole.
What was it before, M&T?
No, M&T Bank Stadium is a stadium for the football
I
team.
thought the arena, it was M&T Arena before that. What was it before?
No.
It was the
First Mariner
Mariner
Arena?
Bank. Yeah, I remember.
First
Mariner Bank. Who's
and it was the Baltimore Arena previous to that.
Yeah, I remember Baltimore Arena.
So that place is an old shithole that's been around forever. I saw wrestling in it in like the early 90s, and it was the same fucking seats that are in it now.
Yep.
It's a giant shithole, but now it's called the Royal Farms Arena, a.k.a. the Chicken Box. That's what I call it, and several other people call it. Anyway, Royal Farms has these shirts for Chicken Palooza 2018. I have no fucking idea what it is, but they have moisture wicking shirts.
It's a dry fit shirt.
It's not a dry fit. They're moisture wicking. They do. I mean, they can be baggy.
That's what dry fit is.
Nah, they're kind of baggy.
It's the material. The material is dry fit.
Whatever.
All right.
And they're awful looking. It's great. So
Really
somebody
bad.
was
They're like a blue. They're like a
very
baby
light
baby blue color with like white and like an
chicken
off
on
orange on it.
That weird looking chicken on the front.
Yeah.
So somebody said that they're getting one and they're gonna roll with it in our gym, and somebody was like, I already did that this past Friday. Somebody's like, we should make those the competition shirts. So the gym manager posted on the Facebook page, hey, go buy these shirts. They're the new competition shirts for the gym. And we all started buying them. At least 10 people have them now. At least 10. Maine, do you have one yet?
I don't have one yet.
You should get one.
I assume someone's gonna buy. They only come in medium, Josh.
So wear a fucking medium.
I need like a small because I'm a small man, Josh.
Wear a medium. You'll live.
I'm going to do it. I just like haven't got a chance to
Dude,
go out to a Royal Farms in the ghetto that has one of these yet.
Dude, the Royal Farms up the street from my house has them.
Hence in the ghetto, Josh. Yes.
Not the ghetto, because Sheely and Jose's house is also around the
Oh,
corner
no
from
shit.
that. And Lee's house, our gym owner's house, is right around the corner from that Royal Farms. So not the ghetto, in a very nice area near a nice college. Fuck you.
All right.
You
So I haven't
live
got a
near
chance
the ghetto.
to go to a nice area.
Shitty mall at that.
I haven't got a chance to go to the nice area to the Royal Farms and buy one of these Royal Farms shirts.
What about the one in Perry Hall? Like, that's up the
Dude,
street.
I don't go to Royal Farms like on purpose.
They have better coffee than 7-Eleven.
That is not a high barometer. It's not a high bar.
Name me a better coffee from a convenience place. I'll wait.
Nah, I got you, actually.
Wawa? I don't like their coffee either.
It's burnt. It's usually burnt.
What's the one that's not always around here? But
Yeah, Royal Farms has pretty okay coffee.
see, Royal
They're
Farms.
expensive coffee, though, which I don't like.
It's no.
It's a little more than 7-Eleven.
Maybe, but it's better because
I also have the 7-Eleven app, which every 7th cup is free for me. It's like,
oh God, what is that place called? It starts with an S.
Safeway?
No. It's like
Shell.
no.
It's the bread one. Sheets.
Sheets. Thank you.
Sheets has good coffee.
Sheets has good coffee too, and I think it's on par with Royal Farms.
I'll give you that.
But
Sheets has, I think
Sheets
has
is the first place that I can remember that had the screen touch for ordering sandwiches.
Yeah, like everyone has now. Like Wawa has it, and like Royal Farms has it, and everyone has it now. Yeah.
Who else has good coffee? Oh, Rutter's in Pennsylvania. Actually, their coffee is better than Royal Farms coffee.
All right.
Dude, their chocolate milk is fantastic. I don't know what they put in it, but every time we go through Pennsylvania, I stop and get that chocolate milk. It's amazing.
Spoken like a true fat guy.
It
So that
is
will do it for
amazing.
this week on the Grappling Rewind podcast. As always, I'm your host, Maine, here with my co-host.
Josh and I won't be here next week, and somebody else will be. See you on the mats. As always, you can email us at thegrapplingrewind@gmail.com. You can check us out on Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, and pretty much anywhere you can find
Facebook.
podcasts. We're on Facebook, Grappling Rewind,
Instagram.
Grappling Rewind,
Twitter.
Grappling Rewind.
Reach out to us on social media. If you got something you want us to cover, you want to clarify, we are here.
You want to
and
tell us we're idiots? Hey, let us know.
You want us to pronounce your name correctly?
Let us know. Subscribe on the YouTube page. Leave us a review.
Helps us out a lot.
It helps us out, and it eventually will help you out. We like to give back. We're doing this as something that isn't done, so help us help you. Again, as always, I'm Josh,
I'm Maine.
and this is the Grappling Rewind podcast.
We'll see you on the mats.